Okay, Steve, let's start today's Asian philosophy. We are going to try to teach everyone how to play the ancient Go game. Okay, Steve, we can start.
So this is a practicum in philosophy, I suppose. Go certainly has a philosophical element to it. I don't know how many of you may have seen over the past couple of months. I did a couple of other talks with this group where I talked about the history of the game and Go and AI, which has been some recent developments. Some of the earliest specialized AI programs that really made this recent launch in 2016 was a game that learned to play Go. Chess got beaten in the 90s, early 90s by computers, but Go, there's so many possibilities that it took until 2016 with machine learning for a computer to be able to beat the best human players. We've already talked a few people through this, but if you want to play today and you've not already done so, if you look at the chat and across the bottom of Zoom, you may see the button for chat, or you may need to hit the more button to open the chat. And in there is a link to a Google Doc. And that Google Doc will step you through getting an account on OGS. That's the online Go server. That's where we'll actually play today. And then it'll tell you to join a group. And then there's the last part of the instructions have to do with when we're actually ready to start playing. And I'll tell you when to do that. You don't need to do that just yet. We're going to teach you the rules first. And this is going to be an adventure. I've never tried doing this online. I told Jason I think this is going to be quite a challenge, but we're going to do our best. Teaching you the rules is simple. That's not going to be a problem. But trying to get everybody coordinated and on the software where they're able to play each other and we're able to see the games, that's the part that's going to be an interesting challenge. We'll just see how it goes. Um, so is there anyone who wants to play who has not found the link to the document to set up your account on OGS? Okay, and if you said anything, you're on mute. All right. Well, let me start with just the briefest. I'm going to squeeze all 2,500 to 3,500 years of the history of Go into one slide. I need to find the share screen bit. There it is, share screen. And I will share that. Bring up. This is what the document looks like that I was telling you to look for in the chat. So that'll step you through getting signed up. But all squeezed into one slide, Go is the oldest board game that's been played by basically the same rules for 2,500 to 3,500 years. It was created in China in the second millennium BC. There's very strong there's very strong written evidence that it at least goes back to 500 BCE, so that's 2,500 years. And there's additional archaeological evidence and the stories of the origin, the legend of the origin of the game will take you back another 1,000 years. If you believe one version of the history, which is that the Yellow Emperor did it, call it 4,500 years old. Most people say 25 to 3,500 years old. I used to do a demo in when I do this in person where I have a tape measure and each inch is a decade. And so I've done this in a couple high schools. And so, those guys were an inch and a half old. I'm about 5.5 inches old. I should have pulled this up ahead of time to make sure I'm going to remember these numbers correctly. If I hit it. I'm not going to try and find it right now. You're just going to have to go from my memory. But the United States is about 2 feet old, I think, about 250 years thereabouts. Chess, I want to say chess is around 14 feet. You can do the math. I think it's around 680 is when chess came about. By the time I do this, by the time I get to the ancient game of Go, I'm working my way out of the conference room and into the hallway because it's about 29 feet old. 2,900 years, and as an estimate. So old game. So it started in China. It migrated to Korea around the 5th century ACE. Eventually, like a lot of things did, made their way from China through Korea to Japan in the 7th century. And in the 1600s in Japan, Japan kind of became the center of the world for Go. This is the Edo period, and this is when they created the 4 great Go schools in Japan, and they competed against each other. Eventually, it spread to the West, really not until the late 19th century. And today, it is an international intellectual sport in the Far East, particularly China, Japan, and Korea. It's very well known. Korea has the most per capita players. I've seen numbers 1 in 10 people play, up to 1 in 4 people play. Very well known in the Far East, but not very well known in this country. But we're here to show it to you. But yeah, it's an intellectual sport where professionals are playing for hundreds of thousands of dollars. This game. So let me check back in the. Stop sharing for a moment. And I'm going to ask again. Let me actually, what I should do, this. Back to sharing that. And let's go on to the OGS site. That out of my way. Zoom all the way over here. All right, now we got some people in here. Excellent. Okay. So as I think I mentioned already, a few of the people in the room are from the Cincinnati Go Club. So, Wong, you could introduce yourself or wave and say hi. And can I make this bigger? There we go. So, Wong, you've waved. There's Wong. Hi there. Or Shan. He told me to call him Wong, so that's what I've called him since I've known him for a few years. Andrew Spino is also from the Cincinnati Go Club. Andrew, can you give us a little wave and a hello? There he is. And Aiden is on here somewhere. There's Aiden. And I think that's all my Cincinnati people. Did I miss anybody? I don't think so. So when we break into groups here, let's see how many we got. So we got 4. Let me ask this: is there anybody else on the call who has already played Go? You can either speak or mute or raise your hand using Zoom if you'd like. Is there anybody else who is already a player?
I play, but play poorly, so very poor. Okay, that's like the first grade.
Everyone plays the wonderful one of my favorite savings of this game is it takes 15 minutes to learn how to play and the rest of your life to learn how to play well. So, ultimately we all suck on it. We only just get steadily better as time goes on. Okay, so that means we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 non-players and 4 players. So we might end up splitting into pairs, and then maybe our Cincinnati crew can kind of watch over a game and give advice, and we'll go from there. Let me go ahead and show you how to play then. Jason, if you'll watch the chat, I'm not really watching that. If anybody is saying something in there that we need to respond to, just let me know. Let's see, you guys. Can I get that out of my way? For some reason, I have Zoom stuck on the front of my screen. I don't know if you guys are still seeing that.
We can see the chessboard.
You can only see the Go board. Okay, for some reason, there we go. Scoot that there. I made it smaller and I moved it over to this side. There we go. Okay. All right. So this is the full size board. Today we're going to play on a smaller board that is only 9 by 9. And that's what you usually do when you're a new player. It gives you a little less to worry about. The first time you play on this big board, after you've played a little bit, it just feels so huge and you don't really even know where to begin. The 9 by 9 games are quicker and simpler. So that's what we're going to do. But I'm going to use this board just to teach the rules on. Okay, so if I can But I have another problem because Zoom keeps putting things in my way. That to the top. I think I can get to everything now. All right, so this is the big board. We'll be playing on 9 by 9. So the game is played like this. You take turns. One person has black stones, the other person has white stones. And you place the stones on the intersections, not actually in the spaces. And you take turns and you play. And this, what I'm showing here might be kind of just a standard sort of opening. On the 9 by 9 board, we'll get into fights really quick. But you take 2 by 2. You take turns, each placing stones. Okay, here's the first rule. If you have a stone and it gets surrounded, and by surrounded, what I mean is if you think of these as little streets, as a grid of streets, this black stone only has one way out of town right now. And if I place a stone there, it will capture that stone. Okay? That's one rule. If you have stones that get totally surrounded, then they will be captured and removed. So let me throw, whoop, yeah, I gotta keep going back and forth between this and edit mode. There. So you can throw it in the chat if you like, or think about it for a moment. How many white stones do you think it would take to kill those two, to completely surround them? Give you a minute to think about it. You can put your finger up on the screen and count it if you need to. I don't have visibility to the, oh, maybe I do. Can I put the chat here? I can. Okay, we've got 6, 9, 8, 10. Okay. Well, let's find out. Turn it over to white stones. So to completely surround these two, you'd have to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 6. Some of you who are saying 10 were probably counting these corners, but there's not a road from there to there, right? So you don't actually need the corners to take it. It's really is just the rectilinear directions, the 4 directions out of town. Okay. All right. So there's that. Let me go back. Stones do not move. I just saw that in the chat, and I usually say that. That's usually one of the first things out of my mouth, and I forgot to say it. You place the stones on the board, and they do not move unless they are captured and removed from the board. So, good question. Most games, they move around. This one, they don't. Okay, so now let me see, too many things in my way. There. So now let me go. Ah, really got in my way. Okay. Now I'm going to put 3 stones. So you've already done it for 2 stones. Now look at this one and take another guess. How many stones do you think it would take to completely surround those and remove them? Not really big. I think these are new guesses. 8, 8. Oh, you're learning already. That is correct because if I show it here, back to edit mode, black stones, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then 8 would take it. All right, slightly more difficult problem. Let's do stones like this. Now, the question is, how many stones does it take to completely block all of the streets out of town for that group? See, 12, 9, another 9, at least 9. I like that. Okay, 9 seems to be the consensus here. Let's give it a shot here. I keep switching to the wrong mode. I'm gonna go there and I need to change the color. Okay, so 1, 2, 3. Again, you don't need the diagonal directions. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and you are correct. If you said 9, that one stone blocks both of these streets, and so that would end up surrounding it. Okay, you now know how to capture groups. You know how to count. They're called liberties. This has had 9 liberties, and it took 9 stones to surround it. Yeah, you keep wanting to cover diagonal corners. Yeah, that's very common. It takes a little bit, it takes a little while to kind of train your brain to, pay attention to the person you need to pay attention to. That's fine. It's normal, totally normal. People always in the beginning want to cover the corners. Okay, so here's just another example that I want to show you that. So when stones are together like that, they're called a group. So that's a group, that's a group, that's a slightly bigger group, that's a group. The thing that I want to clarify is these are technically 2 different groups. And the reason for that is I can surround one without surrounding the other. So I switch over to black stones here. I can surround these guys. And if I played this stone, these should be taken without having surrounded those. Let me just put those back. Stop, let me do it that way. It's back. So I'm able to surround these 2 stones. Black, please, black. Without sitting there. So these 2 groups can be cut apart. That becomes important later, but just to be able to count groups is a question. So I'm about to ask you to count some groups here. Let me go back to the beginning again here.
Why are the white stones not disappearing when you surround it?
I have a different mode. In one mode, I'm in edit mode. If I go, it's because I'm going back and forth between edit mode and non-edit mode. This is play mode. If I get rid of that one, I go back to play mode. I play a black stone, then it'll take it. It's just the tool I'm using to teach. Okay, so let's go back to the beginning again. Okay. All right, so this is just another quick question. I'm going back into edit mode so I can do the same stone over and over. I'm not taking turns. Nicholas, I think I see a hand up. Is that for a question?
2 questions. May I smoke?
It doesn't bother me.
And why do they call the game of Go the microcosmic of the universe? The microcosmic of the universe.
Microcosm of the universe. This game, when you get into it, it really does have a philosophical feel to it. When I'll explain this a little bit, but there's a lot of deciding whether there's a move that you need to do that is big or urgent. There's this push and pull. You kind of form, lines, almost like military lines against each other. And you're trying to decide, how far can I reach my troops out? Is it too far? There's lots of balance sort of concepts in it. And so I think that's probably why it has that reputation. So my question to the chat now is, how many groups are there in this picture? Maybe 4. Yep, that is correct. Because each of these are cuttable, then they could surround one without the other. There are 4 groups. Okay, you guys got groups, you got capturing. That's basically almost every rule but one. I just was going to show, go back to the beginning again. I want to show you along the edges because that seems might feel a little tricky. This is just hard to keep jumping back and forth between. Okay. The question here is, how many white stones would it take to surround those 2? And the answer is 1, 2, 3, and then 4. would capture them. So when it's on the edge, there's no roads out of town in this direction, so there's no reason to have to put stones there to block them. One of the least likely places you'll ever play in a game of Go, the corner. And the reason is it only takes 2 stones to surround the corner. 1, 2, done. Okay. Now, let's see. Let me jump to what it means to be alive, and then we'll take care of that last rule. Maybe I should pause. Are there any questions while I clean this up? Any questions from anybody before I go on? Okay, it's been pretty straightforward so far. All right. So now let us consider a group like this. And now the question is, how many liberties does that have? In other words, how many stones would it take to capture that group? That is one group, they're all connected. How many stones would it take for this one? 13, 12, 9. Okay, well, let's count them up. Switch over to black. So there are at least 12, I think, because we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Again, you don't need the corners. I think we're starting to get the hang of that. But at this moment, this group still has 1 liberty left in the middle. And so black would actually have to play 1 more stone to actually remove those from the board. And if I go back, you might say if black jumps in there, black is already surrounded. Black doesn't have anywhere to go because the
Steve, you lost your voice?
testing 1, 2, 3. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Okay. Yeah, Zoom dropped my audio for some reason. Okay, that was it. It had me test my mic and it recorded it. It just played it back to me. That was what that second repeat was. So what I was saying is you might feel like the Blackstone jumping in here is committing suicide because it's already surrounded. And that's an important rule. You kill before you die. So black can, in fact, make this move because it's white's last liberty. It would kill that group. Okay. So one more scenario. This is kind of interesting. This is a group, this is called an eye. This is a group with 2 eyes. And one of the biggest sayings in Go is 2 eyes mean life. And this is why. Let's say black wants to surround this. And let's also say black gets a bunch of moves in a row, which doesn't happen in a real game. But let's say black got all the way around this. This group still has 2 liberties left. And the problem is black can't kill before it dies. If black tries to go in here, it's totally surrounded, and yet white still has an open liberty. And so this does not kill the group. This is, and it's in some rules it's technically illegal, in other rules it's just stupid because as soon as you play it, it goes away, it's killed. So 2 eyes make life. This white group can never be killed on the board. And so now you start to see where the game starts to take shape because what you end up trying to do is make these living groups to surround area on the board. What's even more interesting about this is anything connected to this is also alive. Even if black went all the way around this, it's still going to have the same problem that it can't take out both eyes at once. And so my experienced Go players will be laughing at this picture, but you might imagine that if white got this to happen, this is a living group, Maybe this is white's territory now. And so white cannot get in there. Okay. So there's just one more rule. And I suppose I failed to say this at the beginning. The goal of the game is you're trying to surround more territory on the board than your opponent. Okay. We've talked about killing stones because that's one of the rules. The goal is not necessarily to kill your enemy. It happens, but it's not necessarily the goal of the game. I have one more rule I'm going to show you, and then we're going to get set up to actually try this a little bit. Go back. Let's see that. The final rule is like this. If you end up with a pattern on the board, do this down low, that looks like this. This is called a ko. And here's what happens with a ko. Let's say it is white's turn. And notice that this black stone is almost surrounded. It only has one road out of town. So white should be able to capture. Remember, it kills before it dies. And so white should be able to kill by moving here. Boom. But now look, white stone is almost surrounded. And then black says,
We need your audio again.
Steve, we cannot hear you now. No audio. Steve, we cannot hear you. It's connecting. It's connecting now.
there,
Okay.
can you hear me now?
Yes, yes.
This has never happened to me on Zoom before. I apologize, folks. This is making it much more challenging, even more challenging than trying to teach a, a virtual room full of people. Okay, let's see. When we last left our heroes, white had taken this stone, and my point was that black could immediately take it back. But then that stone's in trouble, and white could immediately take it back. Whoops, white could immediately take it back. And the game gets very boring very fast. So there's one more rule about this. The actual rule says you can't have the board return to the same position, which is what's happening here. If we just go back and forth, the board looks just like it did 2 moves ago. So the actual rules say it's black's turn, black can take it, but white cannot take it back immediately. You're about to play an invalid move. What black has to do is make a threat somewhere. I'm sorry, what white has to do. White is about to take it back. What white has to do is make a threat somewhere else on the board that black feels like they have to respond to. Then it's white's turn, and they can take it back. And the same for black. They can't take it immediately back. They have to find somewhere on the board that seems like a threat. This is called a co-threat. And white says, oh gosh, you know, I need to respond to that. I have to. And then black can come back and take it. See, the board is not returning to the same position because these other stones are being played. And this will go back and forth, but eventually, you know, white will make a threat somewhere, and black says, you know what? This ko is more important than that threat. So I'm going to leave that alone. I am going to fill the ko. That ends the ko battle, and then white is going to get another turn wherever they played their threat. Ko is complicated. We're not going to really worry about ko today. If it comes up in your game, one of the Cincinnati crew will help talk you through what you need to do. But that's the idea behind it. Go gets complicated because you have to decide, is this really a threat or not? And if it's not, then the Go battle would end right away. Those are the rules. It's really taking turns placing stones. If stones get totally surrounded, they get removed from the board. Two eyes make life isn't really a rule, it's just a consequence of the rules. And then this Go thing is the only other. And that's basically it. So what I want to do now, well, I guess let me pause to see if there are any questions on the rules. See if I can get the chat back open. I haven't seen anything in there for a minute. It's an infinite loop of sorts. That's exactly right, whoever it was that made that comment. That's exactly correct. And it gets boring. Infinite loops are boring. Okay. All right. So here comes the hard part. We're going to try and get people paired up and playing a game. Now, I want to show you back to this document that you guys did where you signed in. And I'm scrolling down to where during the event, you're going to be asked to do the following. And so we're going to do this in a minute. Don't do it quite yet. We'll tell you who to pair up with in a moment. But you're going to challenge somebody. There's a board set up. We're going to want 9 by 9 because we want to play on the smaller board to start because everybody's new, We're going to do a live game. You have to use, well, we're going to use simple time rules that basically give each player an hour. In other words, you're not going to need to worry about time. Go can be played with a clock, just like chess can be played with a clock. We're going to set the clock so big, you don't need to worry about it. Not a problem. And then we'll do no handicap. That's something else that's kind of interesting about the game. Like the guys from Cincinnati have been playing for a while. You have not. Aiden is, I think, probably the strongest player that's on the call right now. When I play Aiden, I have to take at least a 4-stone handicap. But the nice thing about the way the Go handicap system works is if we take the right handicap, it is a very challenging game for both of us. So I'll just show you that while we're talking about it. So when I start a game with Aiden, nope, wrong color. White is traditionally the stronger player. White is traditionally the weaker player. So I, being the weaker player, would start with 4 stones already on the board. And with Aiden, I probably want a 5th. But we usually play with 4. I beat him a couple times with 4. But that's the handicap system. So on this document, wrong one, you're going to set up with no handicap because we're just going to play even games. We're not going to worry about that. The other player will accept. And now here's the trick. This is what the board will look at after you've challenged and accepted. You'll both see a window like this. You can put chat down here. As few of us as there are, I had considered if we got a bunch of people, we would end up trying to break into Zoom rooms. As few of us as there are, I think we're just all going to stay in the same room. We'll be able, when we did this over the pandemic with the Go Club, we found that people would play the game, and it's just like in a real place, just like sitting in a coffee shop or someplace. It's pretty quiet, and every now and then somebody says something to talk about their game. It really doesn't get too chaotic. So we're going to try that rather than splitting into rooms because that's going to be very isolating. I think we're small enough. But here's the thing. For your first 3 or 4 games, we're going to do something called Capture Go. It's not the full game of Go, but we do this when you're brand new because just like you were saying, you still kind of want to cover those diagonals. It's sometimes hard. It takes a few minutes to see when something is about to be surrounded. So when you get this board set up, the first 4 moves I want you to make are black, white, black, white. Make a little crisscross pattern. Just go clockwise. Black, white, black, white. Notice it's not exactly in the middle. Doesn't matter. It's an odd number of 9 by 9. There's not an exact middle. And in Capture Go, the person who captures any stones first wins. So it's all about trying not to be captured. Okay? So I think it is worth me doing this, I'm going to pick on you again, Aiden. So I'm going to go to OGS. And if you haven't done this, if you look at your OGS screen, here's your home screen. Over to the right, you'll see groups, and then here's the group you just joined. And if you click that, then you'll see just people who are here today. Let me ask this question. Can I make this big? Big. Does anybody here, other than the Cincinnati crew, do you guys know each other and want to play against each other? Is there anybody who wants to play a particular person? I don't know. We're probably all over the country. Okay, then we'll just kind of randomly pick people in a minute. All right, let me move that back out. Okay. I really need to have two monitors set up. Okay, now I can't move it at all. This is wonderful. There we go. Now I got it. Okay. So Aiden, I'm going to challenge you just to show folks how it goes. This is Aiden. So I'm going to challenge. And let's see, we can call the game whatever. I'm going to use Japanese rules and Japanese rules and Chinese rules mostly have to do with scoring. The scoring ends up, the same person wins either way. If you attend another talk of mine, maybe we'll talk about that in more detail. We can make it a live game, Fisher time, for a couple hours so we don't run out of time. Oh, no, let's do simple time. Easier. Simple time for an hour, so we're not under any time pressure. On the small board of 9 stones, 4-stone handicap might be a much for Aiden, so we're going to go to no handicap. And I think that's it. And so I'm going to send the challenge. Aiden is now seeing a thing pop up on his OGS, and he's accepted. And now we both see I didn't change it to 9 by 9. I made a mistake. I'm going to go over here and I'm going to cancel the game. Thanks. All right, let me go back in here and I need to go back to the group. Aiden, challenge. I did everything but turn this down to 9 by 9. I don't like them to be ranked because I'm going to be okay. Let's see, live, simple, 1 hour. Okay, everything else is right. Let's try this again, Aiden. There we go. Now we have a 9 by 9. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take turns and we're going to make a little cross in the middle, go around clockwise. And now it's Black's turn. So I'm going to try and capture some of his stones. He's going to try and capture one of mine. So don't respond immediately, Aiden, so we can talk about it as we go through. So I'm going to play here. Notice this stone is being almost surrounded. So in capture go, he doesn't want to lose the game. He's going to need to do something to save that. So go ahead. Yeah, see, now it takes 3 more stones to surround it. I'm not going to be able to do anything. So I'm going to go here. I'm going to threaten that stone. Now, what do I feel like doing? We're going to go here. Go ahead, Eden. Ah, yeah, I almost have the stone captured here. I'm going to have to run away or I'm going to lose the game. So I'm going to play here to save it. And now Aiden is going to win the game because this has created something called a ladder. I've only got one place to run. So I'm going to do it. And he's going to go, ha, you're not going to get away that easily. Oh, I've only got one place to run. To do it. Let's keep it zigzaggy, Aiden, for the shape. I'm gonna try and run. He says, no, yeah, you can run, but you can't hide. Ah, I gotta run again. He says, nope. I gotta run again. Last place to run. And he captured my stones. That shape is called a ladder. And after a while, you start to recognize things like this. And, if I had realized that was a ladder, I could have simply resigned the game in capture go because I knew I was going to be captured. So there's an example game. All right. Black won, indeed. Black won because he resigned from the game. Yeah. So OGS is not built to play Capture Go. It's built to play the regular game, but we're just going to do it this way to begin with. All right, so let me see if I can make this bigger again. When we have the games going, I believe you will be able to see the games in this area. So Dave, I know you're somebody who just wanted to watch. You should be able to go to this page, and I think you'll be able to see the games, or at least see the boards to click into to be able to play. All right, guys, here's the hard part. Everything up until now was simple. We're going to try and pair off. I think what I will do is I will pair us off, and then maybe each of the Cincinnati players, we can kind of just take one and watch and help when people have questions. So Dave,
I have a question.
yes, please.
When we set up the games, there was a checkbox for private or public. Should we uncheck private so that people can see the game?
That is a good question. When you're in a group, does that make a difference? Let's do this real quick. Aiden, I'm going to challenge you again. I'm going to leave it private. Let's see if it still shows in the group.
It was private last time.
And yeah, we did, but the question is, are you able to see it? Yeah, you can't see it here. So good catch. Just to be safe, let's uncheck that private. Very good catch, sir. I appreciate that. All right, somewhere I have a game that's active. Here it is. So, fine. Okay. All right, so now let me get back. See people. This would be so much easier in a room. Okay. Dave, I think, was just interested in watching. I think everybody else was interested in playing. Is that correct? Anybody else who doesn't want to try it out? Okay, so I am just looking on the screen how people are arranged in my window, and I'm just going to kind of go across here. Lee and Ray, how about the two of you team up? And Lee, you challenge Ray. So you'll go into the group, and you'll find, Ray, what is your user ID that you have in there?
It's the to you from me.
To you from me. So Lee, you're going to challenge to you from me. We've got two Pauls. Will that be? I'm going to jump over that. So when you have Paul playing Paul, that'll be too tough. How about Paul versus Olga? Olga, did you get signed up, and do you have a user ID in the group?
No, I just want to watch. First time I see this game. I never saw it at all.
Okay, that's fine. In that case, Paul, why don't you challenge Fred? Fred, what was your user ID again? You'll unmute real quick. I know you told us before, I just can't remember.
A scepter.
What was it?
A scepter, ACCIPTR.
Okay, so Paul, not Paul L. Paul, challenge aseptic. It's there. And now Paul L. Why don't you challenge Kevin? Kevin, what's your user ID?
Kevin is 7282.
Well, I'm sorry?
7282.
7282. Okay, so Paul L, if you will challenge that user ID, let's see if we can get some games going. Oh, Jason, I left you out. Do we have an odd number? I think I used up everybody. Jason, care for a game?
Yeah, Jason. Yeah, I never changed my name, Jason.
Okay, well you can challenge me if you like. I'm Baji Naji.
Bajinaji. Okay, so
You read CJ Cherry sci-fi, you'll know what that means.
so
And then Aiden and Wong and Andrew, let's start off with you guys just kind of watching the games. If we got the game started, I'm still looking at people. Let me move things out of the way. Zoom is very tricky to move around your screen. Come here. Let me grab the window, please. It's not letting me. Left side has gone off the. There we go. Get this menu. If I go back here into the group. Now, it says no games are being played. Has anybody successfully got theirs going? All right, anybody who's having a problem.
Challenge received.
Oh, I hear challenges being received. Is that to me? That's probably to me, actually.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
I send out
But it need to be non-private, just make sure.
Yes, maybe if you started the game, you're still in a private game. I told you this is the hard part.
So
In a-
my game is private.
I think by default the game is private, so you need
Oh.
to do something. You need to uncheck box maybe.
So should I cancel the game?
Yeah, cancel it if you made it
How,
private.
how do I cancel the game?
Over to the right, there was a blue button, I believe, that says cancel. And go back to where I can see people.
Oh, okay.
Let's see. Lee and Ray, have you successfully got a game started?
I haven't seen it pop up yet. I can try and do it from this side to that side if that's okay.
That would work. Lee, are you there? And what's your user ID so that Ray could challenge you?
I can change one more time. Look like.
Jason, why don't you hold on? If Lee doesn't respond.
Okay.
Who might want to unmute at this point?
Yeah, Lee's on mute. I'm gonna suppose Lee might not be hearing us, and so Jason, why don't you challenge Ray? And Ray, yours was to you from me or something like that?
What's
Exactly. Yes.
okay, so I'm going to challenge to you, me. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. I just want to make sure they have the private.
Yep. And make sure it's 9x9.
9x9. This.
Now, maybe what we should do is have each of us share our screen. I don't know.
Where is where is the private I should check?
Can you share your screen, Jason?
Laptop.
Let me share my screen. Okay. Okay, so let me share my screen. Can you see it?
Yes. So there's
Okay.
a private is just under the name. And so you can uncheck that box.
Oh, this one?
Yes, that's correct.
It's unchecked.
Oh, it is unchecked. Okay, fine. So then
Okay.
Japanese rules, live, simple 1 hour, 9x9, none. I think you're good to send a challenge to Ray.
Noticed a chat from Lee saying that he was here and he was, I think he sent a challenge.
Oh, okay. Thank you for catching that. So you sent, and so Ray, you should be receiving.
Okay, sorry, Lee.
Okay. Yes, thank you, Lee. Lisa. Okay.
I'm expecting some sort of pop-up or something. I'm not seeing anything
Yes. So accept that.
yet. I don't see one yet.
I'm not hearing the challenge accepted, challenge received.
We wouldn't unless her mic was on. This is Jason, I told you this was going to be tough to do with a group online. We'll keep muddling through. So you sent the challenge, Jason?
Yeah, I sent the challenge.
We're just
No.
going to have to do this one at a time. There's no other way around it. And you did not see anything pop up, Ray?
I did
I
not.
just saw something from Aiden in the chat about in the upper right corner, try clicking the blue bell with the 2 underneath it. That's sometimes where the challenges come in.
Oh, yes, in the upper right-hand
I mean, it
corner.
could be a different number. It could keep going up.
I do have a bell, but it says 0.
All right, let's try going the other way. So Ray, why don't you find Jason, which I think his username is his name, Jason Peng.
Yeah, how about you challenge me? So
Okay, let's give it a go.
Challenge
Try going the
received.
other way.
There it is. I heard it.
Somebody
they
or is
challenge
that to me?
I was like, I didn't press it yet.
That might have been somebody challenging me.
Game started.
Oh, nice.
Okay, so now you can do that little diamond pattern for your first 4 moves, a little cross pattern, and you guys will be off. Wong, can you see their game that they just started?
Uh, that wasn't us.
I haven't seen.
This is tough. I knew this was good. I knew this was where it was gonna fall apart, man. I just knew it.
So
Get
I didn't
there.
receive
Okay.
anything.
I'm putting in the parameters right now. So
Okay.
game speed is correspondence.
Do live. It's
Live.
in that document, by the way, for those who may be wondering. That document
And then-
does tell you what to set up. Live, simple, 1 hour, 9x9, no handicap. So it sounds like somebody else got a game going, I think.
Yeah, I
but-
accepted a game from Paul.
Okay, Paul and Fred, are you guys started? You've got your little 4 moves started to do capture go?
We haven't made any moves yet. Can go ahead and do that.
Okay, so whoever is black will, and you're just going to go kind of clockwise around in the middle of the board to make that pattern.
So we are not able to see the game, Fred's game. Are we able to see it?
I can see Aspter and Paul VT, their game, live games. And
Is Comey automatic?
Comey is automatic. It does not matter for capture go.
Challenge received.
Okay, I received the challenge.
All right.
I
She said,
don't know the other game. I'm not seeing the other game in the group either. Did you turn off private?
oh, here. I think it's in the message bar, the challenge.
Oh, you guys, okay.
I got it.
Paul and Fred, I think it was. You've done a correspondence game. That's fine. So
Okay, I
for
think
the
you need
Cincinnati
to
Go
go-
players, if you look at the correspondence games, you'll be able to see theirs.
Yeah.
And I see that black has made a move.
Yeah.
The only
So-
difference is correspondence, you click the stone and then you confirm it. So you're fine with correspondence.
So,
So-
Ray, we can play now. I already received your challenge.
Okay, sounds good.
And
Okay,
Paul,
so you
if
guys,
you'll,
you should go first.
and Paul, if you'll play a white stone next to the black stone. Paul VT is the user.
Oh, I can go first. Okay.
I put one down. You should see it.
I already put, but I didn't.
I knew this was going to be rough.
Oh, what should I do? Oh, I should do this, right?
Okay, I see Wong jumped into Fred and Paul's game. So Paul, you can do that in the chat. I'm gonna jump back.
Aiden's here as well.
Am I black or white? Game.
You should be white, yeah. I put down a black stone on G3.
To the Zoom. Let's see.
G3.
Other Paul and Kevin, have you been able to get a game going? Virginia Tech.
no, I keep seeing the either Paul and no receive. So how about I'm good? Somebody, how about Aiden? Maybe I try Aiden.
Yeah, I'm gonna switch gears here. Rather than you guys have playing each other, why don't we maybe have our Go players, because then they can talk you through things as we go. And then Lisa, I can't remember who you were matched up with.
Oh, I think you clicked watch. You can watch the game.
Oh, that's right. We changed because Lisa, we didn't hear from Lisa for a minute. So we ended up. So Lisa doesn't have a player. Andrew, challenge Lisa.
Yeah. You want me to challenge?
Yeah, go ahead and challenge Lisa. Let's try and get people into a game here. So you guys can
And what's her user?
good question, Lisa.
Is it
what
new
did you
player
put in as
league? New
user
player
ID?
league.
New PL, she says.
Okay, I'm gonna do live. I'm gonna do simple. I'm gonna do many hours. I'm gonna do 9x9 and no handicap, and I will be white.
David and Olga, have you been able to find where you can see the games? Are you on OGS?
I think you need to make one of the players a co-host and then they can share their screen. So
Oh, that's a good point. Jason, why don't you share your screen so that
Okay,
Dave and Olga
give
have
it a
something to
share.
watch? Because if they're not in
So
the,
right now I'm going to play with
I can see that.
Ray, and look like it's Ray's turn, right? So you have to play one, right?
Yeah, I'm not sure why
well,
you're not seeing it. But there is one down there on G3.
G3? No, I didn't see anything. Did you? Because that's my screen. And I'm where you see on this side, I have been, you have 1 hour to move. Right now, you only have the 56 minutes. See, you see on this side, you see there's a 55 minutes. So that means I'm waiting for your move, right?
that is correct.
So
And
you
so
Submit, probably there's a submit. This is corresponding game.
yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. So Ray, you've clicked a stone. Do you see anything where you have to confirm the move?
It says submitting and has the 3 little lines after it. But yeah, I don't
Okay,
see like a
Lee,
button.
here we go.
Yeah, I think maybe
This
we'll
is-
see somebody else play and see if there's a button I can't find or something.
Let's see. Let's go back
It's-
to
Oh,
was it
I can-
here we go, Lee.
Did that work?
No, I didn't see anything. Okay, one way I can do is I can make Ray as a co-host so you can share your screen.
Kevin and Paul L, I think it was. Have you guys managed to get a game going?
Now I match with Aiden. Then I cannot type in
Oh.
message on the chat on the game. Paul cannot connect the game.
Yeah, I sent an challenge, but somehow it did not accept it. I don't know what happened.
Yeah, I don't know why. You know, when I see try and make a challenge Aiden, right very much. I don't know something in the UI side.
Jane, I see you joined us late, so there's we're in the middle of chaos trying to have people use a software they've never seen before to play some games. So I think
You can press undo if you okay.
who do we not have? Long is watching a game. Aiden, did you receive the challenge? Aiden, you're on mute if you said anything. Did you receive the challenge?
I'm currently in a game with Kevin.
Aha.
Kevin7282.
Yeah, cannot put the
Oh,
chat.
here,
Aiden, sorry, you typing. I cannot typing. I don't know.
Wow. So in the game between Paul VT and Acceptor, I wonder if Acceptor has made the move and submit because it's corresponding game. So
Yes, I made a move. Do I need to somehow confirm it or something?
yeah, there's a button called submit. So you need to submit it. Yeah. So
When it's correspondence, you need to press submit.
corresponding
it's set up.
game is kind of the game.
Which I don't see. I don't see a submit button.
It's set up as correspondence and 19 by 19 board.
Oh, 19 by 19 board.
So let's, Fred, if you can, or Kevin, I forget who acceptor is, if you can exit that one.
Yeah, cancel that game and go back in on a 9 by 9.
This is 9 by 9. I mean, what I see is 9 by 9.
Yeah. Oh, who is talking? Sorry, I don't know who is talking. Who is making the comment?
This is Fred, a scepter. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna cancel the game. We can do it again.
Pass. White wins.
Oh.
Congratulations.
So
So look like Ray already make a move. Right now is my turn, but I don't see anything. I don't see.
Yeah, it won't work. I put it, I'm doing live mode. So I don't know if maybe we're in different modes or something, but
why not?
there's no submit button. And when I click the stone, it just goes on the board and it says it's submitting, but nothing ever happens. So I just did pass on my turn to see if you
Okay.
can do something.
So did you
That's-
see the, I already put it?
I can
Challenge
see yours,
received.
yeah. And now my only option is to pass.
No, you can you click some?
I can,
Yeah, I
Yep,
saw
there you
yours.
go.
Right?
Oh.
Yeah. Okay, so
Okay.
right, my turn.
That's weird. It wouldn't let me take my first turn, but okay.
Yeah. Okay.
I saw Lisa, I think, got successfully in with Andrew. Aiden successfully. Is there anyone who's still not in a game that wants to be in a game? I will play someone if that is the case.
I accepted Paul's challenge, but it seems like he is the one to move first. Is that right? Because his clock's ticking.
Oh shoot.
Yeah, don't worry about the clock. We set those so far out. You don't need to.
But I can't submit a move. Or play a stone, I should say.
So I'm proposing, yeah,
I won.
I'm creating a game to a scepter and Paul VT so that I'm creating the games so that at least we can get started. Yeah, so why not? Yeah, so in a minute, I'll create a game 9x9. Okay.
Challenge received.
So also I need to create one for.
Game started.
Okay. Oh, how come? Well, yeah. So a scepter. Now you can play a stone anywhere you want.
No.
All right, Jason just made a capture, so you won that game.
Black
Nice.
wins.
Because you're playing Capture Go. That's how you would do it. So I suggest you guys you'll have to cancel out of that game and you can start another one.
Okay.
Black wins.
So how can
Challenge received.
rematch?
Yeah, I believe you can do rematch and that would jump right into it.
Game started. Challenge received.
Okay, great. We can play one more time.
I did see someone suggested they could play
Game
more than one
started.
challenger. That would be okay if you think you can manage the the boards. Going back and forth between them, you have to be able to go between the games.
Hold up.
Oh, good. It worked that time.
Okay, well, I'm not sure what happened to you the first time. So I hope everyone who's winning a game has managed to get in one now. Like I said, I knew
And
this
again,
was going to.
where is there's a submit button somewhere?
If you are in in the setup of the game, you can make it a correspondence game or a live game. The instructions I provided are a live game. But if you started one in a correspondence game, the difference is to make your move happen, you have to press a submit button. It's like you place it on the board and then you submit. Place it on the board and submit. If you're not in a correspondence game, then you simply place it on the board and it should appear to the other player. Ray, you've got to move. You way beat Ray. Ray won that one. 1-1.
Okay.
It's being shared.
Yeah. Paul VT, I created a game. I sent the chat to you. Do you see it?
Yes, I'm in it.
Challenge received.
Okay.
And I made my move. I'm waiting for Acceptor to make
Black
his move.
wins.
No, that game. So
That
okay.
says black wins by cancellation. So I don't know why that's the second time it says that black, which is me, wins by cancellation.
Yeah.
Are you?
Whoever you
I-
challenged backed out of it.
So,
Yeah,
but
I
on a
couldn't-
separate game, I create one. I send the challenge. So here you will see XQWANG. So that's my username. So I send a challenge both to you and to acceptor. So acceptor. So if you can, on your home screen, you should see the challenge. If you accept that challenge, then we can start a game.
Ooh.
Oh,
Okay, yeah. So I see that. Oh,
Okay.
acceptor. Oh no, that's from acceptor. So okay. So acceptor
Oh,
now
I
to make a
see.
move.
You're playing
Good.
each of us separately, not the three of us in the same game.
Yeah, yeah,
Yes.
that's exactly right.
Oh, okay. When you said you would challenge us, both of us, I was thinking it'd be like a three-person game. I was confused how that would
Oh no,
work.
sorry. So
I was,
You were correct to be confused.
okay.
so just to confirm, acceptor, are we playing capture goal, or seems the move you made, the move seems a very good normal go game move. So just let me know what game in your mind you're playing.
So
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
To
When
answer
we
your
do
question,
this
yeah,
in person,
Yeah,
when we do this in person, what we're able to do is sit and watch the game and like kind of steer the game and have you see different things. Right now, there are so many games going on and we can't see them all, so it does make it. I hope you're enjoying yourself. I knew this was going to be a challenge, and it has been exactly that.
Yeah. So
You can do me the favor
game
of not
between.
post.
We could play a game and have them watch, see how a game goes.
Well, that's what we do for the people who want to. Jason is sharing his screen, and he and Ray are playing.
Are we playing the capture go or the regular
the
go
capture
one?
goal, since you didn't play the first move in the middle, so I assume you're not
Oh,
playing
okay.
the capture goal game. So I'll
Yeah,
just play.
that's fine. It's all
Yeah.
good.
So you seems quite know the game quite well just by the play.
Okay.
Hey, Lisa, I saw you're ready to watch for a little bit. That's fine. Whoever's turn it is in Ray versus Jason, either one of you could have won because there are two stones that were able to be captured. Not anymore, though.
Black can capture white there. White is almost surrounded.
Yeah. There's a white stone in the Jason Ray game. It is almost surrounded.
Ooh.
That one.
And that's
Well played.
and that's
Well played.
and that's a co situation there.
Yeah, now it would be a co if you weren't just doing capture go.
So we should resign. I should resign this game.
Black
You have
win. Challenge received. Game started.
Oh,
Oh, white. Uh-oh. Target from the wrong side.
I'm too greedy, so that's the problem.
That is a problem in Go. Go will teach you why.
Challenge received. Game started.
I have a simple question, Steve. When does the game end?
That's a very good question, actually.
There's not a simple answer.
Well, there is. Capture Go ends when something gets captured. In the full game of Go, what happens is you are each taking turns and you're playing on the board, and eventually the board starts to get filled up. And you remember how I said you're kind of trying to surround territory? If at some point there becomes a point where making another move isn't going to get you anything more. And basically, you play until that happens. And when I feel like there's not another move that's going to get me any more territory or take any more away from you, I pass. Your opponent can then decide, hey, there is a move I want to do. And then you go back to taking turns. And eventually, you both get to a point where there's really nothing left to do on the board. You both pass, and that's when you score the game. The other way a game can end is by resignation. You may make a move and you may be in a board position, I should say, and it's clear you're not going to be able to win. Like you're just so far behind, there's no way you're going to be able to catch up. You can resign the game, and that's the other way a game can end. There are no draws. Well, there's one very, very obscure situation called the 10,000 year Co. that can happen. There's a very, I can't really explain it right here, but the idea
Why you're in trouble.
you end up with three codes that kind of cycle with each other, and the board never. How does that work? The board doesn't immediately turn to the same position. It's complicated. It's extremely rare, but generally, game Go is one player wins. One player gets more of the board than the other. Had white gone on the other
Black, you only
side
have one move.
first. Yep, and it'll win the game. That's the one.
I lose again.
But if he didn't do that, you would have won the next
Next move, you could have taken those 4 stones.
Yep.
You have won.
So I'll just check in again. Is there anyone who
Challenge
wants a
received.
game who is not in a game?
Game started.
Lisa, you want to try? I see in the chat. You want me to try challenging you? There you go. Okay, I got to stop looking at the shared screen for this. Zoom likes to take over my whole screen. Okay, there we go. And well, now I need to go back to Zoom though, because Lisa, can you remind me what your user ID is in the
on the
chat?
group page.
New player lead. Okay. All right. Let me go get Zoom out of my way. To OGS. Go to the group. Find Lisa. There, I see you. Challenge. Live simple one.
Like the way white is trying all these different
possibilities.
I try to play very, very safe, so I'm not going to lose.
Well, that's a good idea.
I'm going to
Play
be very,
safe.
very
That's good.
careful.
All
I
right,
can believe I lose all the time. So
Now that black stone, if you notice, that black stone is looking awfully low.
Lonely over there by itself, so that's good for white.
so this time I'm going to be very, very careful.
Lisa, I sent a challenge. If you go to the OGS webpage, hopefully you'll see a little pop-up there saying challenge from me. I'll have to go to the OGS page. There we go. All right, Lisa. So if we're going to do capture go, I'm going to go there. You go next to me. Okay, we'll go this direction. I'm going to go next to you. Now you go the opposite corner from me, I guess. As we usually start capture go with cross path.
Oh, I won.
We'll just go there.
Uh-oh, looking bad for black.
Ah, she protected. I'm going to protect.
I was overthinking it.
Yeah, eventually I won. So
The side is dangerous because
You don't have the other side to move on.
Yeah, it felt bad the moment I put it down.
that's just need one mistake. You are gone.
Game started.
And Lisa, that was a capture. So that would mean that one has ended. But I will I'll resign and do a rematch. We're not worried about who technically wins. We don't care.
So it looks like with the ladder and with that last game, that one strategy is to push the opponent to the edge. Is that right?
That's exactly right.
Yeah, can I talk to acceptors? So, yeah, I send you a new challenge.
Careful,
Not
White.
sure
Careful,
whether-
White. You're in the top. Yeah, there
There you go. You're almost surrounded.
Game started.
Just kidding.
Yeah, acceptor, just want to comment if we play capture goal, so you want to play the first move at the center of the board. So that's just a comment, but we can continue play the game just as capture goal. Yeah. So okay, maybe I can.
Okay, so with capture go, you always start in the middle of the board.
That's kind of the
It's the way we
convention.
usually do it. Yeah. Nobody's doing it today, and that's fine.
But yeah, we can still play this game as a capture goal.
Ooh, I won.
There you go. Exactly.
That's called double Atari. You got two stones that are almost surrounded.
Double Atari. Okay.
Okay, Lisa. Yes, I'm about to introduce Lisa to double Atari because now, Lisa, if you look, I've got two of your stones are in danger. You can save one of them.
Shall we share different people's screen or always show my screen? Or anybody's want to share their?
I can share Lisa and me playing if you want.
Okay, so
That'd be great.
I will stop sharing so you can share your screen.
Let me give me just a minute, Lisa, here to get recombobulated. There.
Challenge received.
Screen share. Try and get Zoom out of my way.
Challenge received.
There.
Game started.
Let's see. So that one in. And where is?
Are you sharing your screen or no?
I thought I was. Lisa, did you send me another challenge? Lisa, are you sending me another challenge? Shall I challenge you? There it is. Okay. So, Jason, I think you can see our board now.
Yeah, I can see the board. Yeah.
All right, well, I'm playing black this time, so I'm going to start in the middle. Ah. Now I'm going to try and press you against the side and see if I can do anything like that. Very different strategy this time, Lisa. I like it. Let's see. I'm going to try this. And I think I can get you this move. Because you can try and extend that one stone at G9, right? But I can cut you off here, and no matter which way you try to run, you've only got one way to run. Then I can take
You meanie.
right. Well, she gave me an opportunity, you see. Oops, did I? All right. Well, I keep being black, I guess. So here, I'll play off center. Let's see what happens there. I like that Lisa is trying new things. She's just trying to be elsewhere on the board, it looks like. This is why we often will start with that cross pattern, because it kind of pushes you into a certain pattern. I feel like doing that. Ah! Can't get me. That one's almost dead, so I better try and save it. Well, here's a tricky one. I'm going to put you in a double try. I'm going to force it to happen. Is if I go here, you want to save that white stone, you have to extend. Right? And now what I've done is with that move, I've set myself up for a double Atari by playing there. So now you go, okay, I can take either one of them, I guess.
No.
I'm not giving up. So Lisa, would you like to try a full game? Try a regular game, which is where we're just trying to surround territory.
Yes.
I'm gonna suggest we give that a go. So I'm gonna resign out of this one. And I'll do rematch.
Challenge received.
Or did you already do rematch? I think you had
Game started.
you were quicker on the draw than I was, I think.
So probably we can play raid, or probably we can play the full game like Steve is playing.
Yeah, if you guys have been playing capture for a few, why don't you go ahead and try one?
You have won.
Lisa.
Okay, I canceled it. Do you want to send the request?
Yeah.
Okay,
So
so
already sent
Lisa,
the
I
request.
just sent you a challenge, Lisa.
So we are playing the full game, and then
All right. So now, so for those of you watching on my screen, for Lisa and I to try our first full game, and now we're not necessarily trying to capture. If somebody captures, it doesn't end the game. What we're really trying to do is surround more territory than our opponent. Okay. And let's do one even game, and then we'll
Give
do
her
a
some free stones.
That's exactly what I was just thinking, Andrew. I should have given a handicap. Let's do one free game, and then we'll give a handicap. Remember how I said handicap will make it really challenging for both of us. This one I probably stand a decent chance at winning just because I played a lot and you haven't. Let's play one normal game even, and then we'll do a handicap game so people can see what that looks like. Okay, so looks like I'm looking at maybe this side of the board. Maybe you're looking at that side of the board. And try and surround some territory down in this corner. We can do chat here in the game as well, Lisa. Chat, did you say anything? Lisa, it is your move in our game. There we go. Okay, so now Lisa's looking like she wants to get the whole top of the board here. So I'm going to try and get the whole bottom of the board here and see what happens. Oh, she jumped in there. All right, so if I want to get this territory down here, I'm going to have to try and kill that stone. If that stone lives in down there, if she gets 2 eyes in this space down here, that's going to take all that territory away from me. So I'm going to try and prevent that. Try one there. Okay, so she went back to the top. I don't think she's going to be able to live with this stone down here. So I think I'm going to try and reach into what the top of the board, what might be her territory. She is going to try and live down here. Let's see. How can I prevent that? Okay.
Ugh,
No, we can continue.
okay.
Ray will play a full real game, so
Yeah, I just didn't see that one coming, so I've
Hey,
disappointed myself.
I gotta be sure she can't live down here. Think about this.
do we give warning, right? When you one step away to catch, Steve, is that right?
So it is particularly when you're with a new player, it's kind to point out when you are in Atari.
What's the name you call Taurine?
That's the Japanese term. The Cincinnati Club uses mostly Japanese terms
They
because
call
Go came
Atari,
to
do they call Atari or something? No?
Atari.
Atari, okay.
Atari. Yeah.
Atari, yeah, that's what I heard my grandpa always say.
Yes.
Atari. Okay.
Yes.
Atari. Okay, so Atari, Ray?
Atari means you're just about to be captured.
Yeah.
And they're just giving you a polite warning that you could be dead soon.
Gotcha. Okay, thanks.
Okay, this white stone on the left, for those that are watching this game, I'm going to make short work of it, because if I play here, that white stone is not going to get out of there.
Atari?
As a matter of fact, I'm not even going to worry about that, because she still is not going to be able to run away, and the way I can. So this is that big versus urgent thing we talked about. If I felt like I needed to respond to this white stone, then I should play over here and make sure it gets killed. But I don't think I have to, because I think if white plays here, I can play there. White runs this way, I can play there, and either way, white's not going to get out of there. So because I think that's true, I'm going to go play somewhere else on the board that might be bigger. Try that move. Okay. I think I'm safe doing this. We're going to find it.
White, you want to have your stones work together. If you move them far apart, then they can't work together. That's good because you're working with that other stone on G7.
Yeah. I think I'm just going to be. I don't know which way do I want to do this.
Sorry.
Why? See,
Okay,
I am
I'm
hoping.
learning.
I am hoping to get all of this if I can kill all these stones. So there I just killed a couple stones. We're not playing capture go, so the game's not over. But I felt like I needed to take those. Now, how do I feel about this? You've got 1, 2, 3 liberties. This group has more, 1, 2, 3, 4 liberties. This group has 1, 2, 3, 4 liberties. So you have fewer liberties than I do. So I think I'm okay. I sometimes get surprised when I do this, so I should be careful. To me down to 2. Yeah, there are things you could do to me that are mean, so I'm going to play it safe. I'm going to go ahead and try and whittle that down a bit. Still want to try and kill everything down here. So the main thing I'm trying to do is make sure that my stones are connected and that I'm not giving white room to get 2 eyes. So that's part of my thinking here. See, okay, I think I can feel a whole lot safer if I go ahead and kill these, because then everything else is going to look awful lonely, I think. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. There's one more move and these guys are all going to be dead. And so white cannot play here. Well, if you tried that on your board, because it would be suicide. This is your only liberty and you would have taken it away. So you went there. I think
you are suicidal. It's suicidal.
Right. I keep trying to think of these elaborate strategies, and then I'm missing the small picture.
This last move from white, I'm afraid you self-Atari'd yourself. I could actually take those, and I think I'm just going to go ahead and do it. I'm going to feel better if there were fewer white stones down where I'm trying to make my territory. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that. That one to save because that's in danger. And if I let white take this black stone, suddenly she's connected all of these out. So I definitely do not want to let white take that black stone. So I'm going to fix that. Okay. I'm going to try and creep around here and see if I can get some more territory on that side.
What you want to block the black from going in.
Yeah, he was saying maybe you wanted to play up here because this way I can keep going that direction. Now I did just realize I've only got 3 liberties over here, but I think I'm okay because that only has 2. So I'm gonna do the rude thing, I'm afraid. We're gonna give you a handicap time next game, Lisa, so you'll be able to kick my butt. Let's see. Keep reaching in on that side. I'm making territory on that side, so.
Oh.
Now you got me totally blocked off, so it's gonna be hard
That's
for
a
me.
good block.
Yeah. So I'm gonna just finish this off so that I have this whole side. So you've got this kind of territory up here, so you probably want to do things in that upper left-hand corner to try and solidify that as territory. That's a good solid. That'll give you some eye space. So I'm going to reach in a little bit there. Okay. So okay still. Seal off that side. See, I need to be a little careful here. I need to watch. Or Andrew is going to give you a hint and you're going to kill my whole group. If I moved here, my 3 stones would be an Atari and you could play down here and kill them. I don't think I want to do that. So I think
No.
Be real statement.
Well done.
So that one, Lisa, that one, I'm not sure what that does because I could take it immediately. Absolutely. Undo accepted. That's something if you haven't discovered that in the game, you can ask for an undo, and if your opponent says okay, then okay, absolutely. Okay, that's good. That definitely solidifies your territory on the top nicely. I'm thinking about these two, and I guess I'm connected out that way.
I think as far as territory goes, you've won, Jason.
I think so. Sorry,
You have won. Wins.
That was fun. I learned a lot of what not to do.
yeah, thank you for letting me win because I haven't win a game for 50 years. So sorry. Actually, I find a person I can win. So
Glad I could be here for that.
sorry for that. I just have to build my own confidence.
So Lisa, I'm going to say, look at this top where I'm kind of coming around the corner here.
Challenge received.
Because you're unfortunately that last move again, you've kind of put there's no reason you should understand why. Let me be clear. Yeah, but what has happened with that move is you've actually made it so I could keep you from getting two eyes. Look at B9 maybe.
Oh shoot.
Yeah. So now you have an eye here. And these three, like that is an eye. Like if white tries to play, or excuse me, if black tries to play in there, which let's just show you. Let's say I try and go in there. You can just kill me right away. And you have 1, 2, 3 eyes. Well, if 2 eyes make life, 3 eyes are even better. So this game is almost over. And what we really, so I believe these are dead. I believe these are dead, and I believe that one's dead. If you don't, then you can make a move and we'll keep playing, and eventually it'll become really clear whether something is dead or not. The only other point on here that's really of interest, this is called a Dame point. This point is kind of between our two territories. Nobody's going to gain any territory from this move, but it makes scoring, if you're a human being, the computer is going to score our game, Lisa, but we usually play out the Dame just to keep it simple. So now white, this is alive. You definitely don't want to put any more stones in there because you're fine. If you think you can try and save any of these other stones, go ahead and try. Or if you agree that these stones are dead, then you can pass. Either try and save some of them or you can pass. You're going to try and save those. Okay, great. So maybe these are alive. You know what? I don't think you're going to get 2 eyes. So I think I'm not going to move. And here's actually a nice feature of this game. I am going to move just to demonstrate it. If you move down here and I respond, we have not changed the relative score. This becomes a prisoner of mine, and so it counts against you. But I also filled in one of my own points that's kind of in my territory, so that counts against me. So in the game of Go, you're kind of encouraged to try things. So long as your opponent responds to you, you haven't changed the score. I really like that about the game. Okay, Lisa, so same kind of dilemma, okay. Now, I don't want to move here because that puts me in danger. I think I'm just going to go ahead and move there, and I don't think those 4 stones are going to get away. I don't think I need to respond to that, so I'm going to pass. Now, if you pass also, the game will end. You can, there we go. Okay, so the game, this thing scores for you automatically. Oh, you resign. Okay. So the way we would score the game, just for those of you looking at the board, and next game, Lisa, I'm going to give you a healthy handicap and you're going to beat me. Okay. But this game, so white has, do we have prisoners? Let me get that. 11 captures and 1 capture. So white has 1, 2, 3 points, and 1 capture would be 4. Black has, yeah, okay, more. But the way you would count it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You just count the number of spaces in between, and then each of the white stones that you think are already dead in place also count for black. That's how you'd score. Okay, let's do this again. I'm not going to do a rematch because that'll set up the same game. So I'm going to back.
Can I ask a question? What? Oh,
yeah.
Sorry, never mind.
You mean to go back to the board?
Yeah.
Yes, go ahead.
So, how is the score with E2? That little space there will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for black. Is that right? 2, 3.
This area, this part of black's territory,
yeah,
would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 plus another because it's a prisoner.
Ah, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah, it's a little easier when you have the physical stones to do it.
So
I see.
Steve, so in this area, so it's kind of 6 or 7 for black?
Within this little area here?
Yeah, yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 7 because that would also be a prisoner.
So it's kind of the 7, right?
Yeah, this area would be 7 points for black.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, that's the part. So on the lower right corner, you will consider as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 plus 4 is 9.
Correct. This area would become 9 because there are 4 prisoners, and then.
Oh,
but remember, for several of these stones, I responded. So several of these stones became prisoners, but I also played moves inside my territory.
Okay, I got the point. Yeah. So
Yeah,
technically,
but you're right. This would be 9.
Yeah, you
I
don't.
think
Yeah, for the professional, usually you don't have to respond because it's people knows it's not going to survive.
Yeah, after you've played for a while, you start to realize, oh, that's dead. So you don't try to make it live anymore.
Yeah,
but as a new player, go for it. Try it.
If I try, then you have to respond, right? So
I might have to respond. If I do respond, you haven't changed the score. If I don't respond, then you may have lost a point.
Yeah. So if our neighbor is too much difference, I may try to survive and you just ignore it and you just put 1 or 2 stone then.
Correct.
Yeah, okay, got you.
That's correct. I think I saw a hand go up on Zoom from Dave.
Yeah, Steve, I just want to make a comment about the game. Of course, we talked about it a month or so ago, but to me, the 19 by 19 board, it looks so homogeneous. It looks like it's all the same, like the nation of China, this huge expanse of land. But I remember the first lecture you're talking about, well, there's 2 rows in, it's this, and if 3 rows in, it's that the experienced player learns. And to me, there's so many subtleties about, where Lisa was trying to move and everything else. So I can see why it would take years to master this game, but I really appreciate the demonstration.
It takes years to master it. It takes minutes to enjoy it. Yeah, what he was saying on this big board, if black starts to get stones along here, this is probably territory because it's so small that white's not going to be able to get in there and get 2 eyes. If black is playing on the 4th line, sometimes white can actually get in there in ways and make life. And so the 3rd line tends to be territory, 4th line tends to be influence. I want to give Lisa a chance to kick my butt. Let's go back here.
Yeah, I have a good day. I think I'm heading out. Bye.
Okay. I'm glad you came. Okay, so Lisa, we're back if you're up for it, and I hope you are. Where are we? Why can't I read? There it is. So I'm going to challenge, and this time do a 5-stone handicap. All's the same. So if Lisa, if you're up for this, oh wait, I made myself the wrong, no, I didn't. No, I think I'm okay. I'm still black.
So Ray, I think you need to try to make an eye, otherwise you are not going to survive.
So Lisa, are you up for one more? The good advantage? I should pull the chat up again. I know you're talking in there sometimes. Lisa, oh, that is you. Okay. You need to recharge your battery. You're at 2%. Okay. Okay, I'm going to cancel that. And who else wants to take me on with a healthy handicap? Anybody else interested?
Jason.
Yes, I'm here.
Jason, do you want to take him on? I'd kind of like to watch a little bit and learn some more of the strategy
Okay.
part of things.
So what you want to do? You want to watch?
You have 1 minute.
You give up? Okay.
Challenge Jason.
Yep.
All right, so I'm challenging Jason.
Okay. So what should I do?
I'm going to challenge you. I'm going to set it up so that I have so that there's a 5-stone handicap in your favor.
Okay. So
You're white. And you're
so should
white.
I accept?
You're white.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Thank you. I need to be white. Thank you, Andrew.
Challenge received. Game started.
So that's so I just so Steve, right now we are playing.
So we are playing. Can you see the board that's also being shared with 5 stones on it?
Okay, so that's I'm playing play handicap.
Yes. So
it's
5
it's
stone on a
it's
9x9 board. I am playing white. This will be very hard for me to win. I'm just straight up. I'm actually going to have to start really thinking hard now.
It's embarrassing if I lose. So
I wouldn't say that. 5
You'll be
stone,
fine,
it's going to
Jason.
be
You
tough.
just kicked my butt several times.
Jason, I'm gonna give you
I'm gonna same thing I said about saying to make use your stones work together. If you if he takes a move, you don't have to necessarily respond to him. You've got
I know. I
5
just
stones already on there. Work together to surround territory.
I guess so. So that's why I cannot
He's
lose.
Pounding me right on the head. It's gonna be tough to see. I could maybe try and do something down here. I'm tempted. So white has to play really aggressively, and white has to try things they would not otherwise try. This stone looks awful lonely. But I think there's enough strength around this. You've got so many stones around me. I'm actually going to try going to another part of the board and see if I can cause some chaos. See if I can separate one of the cows from the herd, as it were. Okay. Hmm. Let's see. Take a chance. I have to take chances. 5 stone, I have to take chances.
Cute.
I realize we're also almost at 7 o'clock here. So now seeing what that move did, I was hoping to play here, and that move actually protects that cut. So I can't do that so easily now. Let's see. See what happens. See how you respond to this. Sometimes you make a probe, try something, and just to see how they're going to react to it. Ah, can't have that. You're gonna get too
I don't
small.
know, Steve. Pretty tough move.
It is. That's a very strong move. Do I risk?
Jason, Steve doesn't like to lose, so
He's really thinking here.
Yeah, I am absolutely really thinking. I'm basically in a handicap game like this. Like I really just have to try things and hope you don't like
Undo requested.
go.
Undo granted.
So I'm looking at this move. So this move, you have too many ways to maybe even accidentally survive. I'm going to try that. I think it's not going to
Come
work.
on, I think you are so.
so mean. So mean.
Yeah, that's the word I try to say. So.
Don't worry, you got him. You got him.
I want to ignore this one, but I think I
Ignore at your own peril.
It's a shoot. Okay, let me try this.
Wait,
I don't like that.
I like it.
You would. Let's see. Do I have any chance of killing this? I suppose I have a chance still. No, man. A lot of eyes on me here. Makes me nervous.
Oh shoot! So what should I do? Oh, it's.
What I'm trying to do is what I'm trying to do. This is going to work. I'm trying to make it so you can only get one eye in there. That's what I'm hoping for.
Probably I should give up on this side.
Sure. Yeah, you should do that. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's hard to say. There are moves. Yeah, that's the one.
Good
That
move.
That move makes it so you're going to be able to get a second eye over there, and there's not much I can do about it now. Oh, that's really bad because I was placing all of my gamble on that corner of the board right now, and it is almost impossible for me to kill you now. Unless you make a big mistake. I'm gonna try and see if you make a big mistake. I'm tempting you. Step into my parlor, said the spider to the fly. That's an English poem for those nursery rhyme, maybe. Yes. Think yes. Think yes. Didn't do the thing I wanted him to do.
He didn't make the mistake, Steve.
He didn't make the mistake I wanted, but I thought it gave me an advantage, but now I'm not even sure it does.
I'm probably not as smart as you thought. That's why I don't care.
Now that was good. You've cut these two groups apart. Yeah, I didn't so certainly. Yeah, I'm in a lot of trouble. I'm in a whole lot of trouble. You have to make a big mistake for me to have any chance of winning this game, I think. So what do I want to do?
And winning, just surviving.
Yeah, at this point, white is just trying to survive. Yeah, I resign. There's nothing I can do with this. If I play here, you kill those stones. I resign. There's no way on earth I'm going to be able to recover this. So well done. So
Okay.
Good job,
it's,
David. Good job.
it's 7 o'clock. Maybe we should end.
Yes.
Okay. You know, I hope y'all did have some fun. I knew it was going to be a lot of chaos trying to get people into games successfully in a software you're not used to. I hope you all had a chance to look up local Go clubs in your area. There probably is one. And go say hi. To most Go players are happy to teach new folks to play and have a game. So
yeah, that's wonderful. You know, actually, Steve, I think you agree. Probably better than we expect, right?
eventually,
Yeah.
I think people got to where they were playing. I hope that everybody who wanted a game did get a chance to try it out. It's a little hard to tell because everybody's, I couldn't really tell what was going on with everybody, but I know some games.
This was
Is the
great
group
fun.
still ongoing?
What?
Because the group is still ongoing.
Going, right? It's still there, right? In OGS?
I didn't
You know-
resign the game. I didn't hit the resign button.
No. I'm just saying that they
Oh,
can
yes.
they can
Yeah, if you
challenge
guys
us
want
to
to continue
games
to
if they
challenge
want to
each
play
other.
us.
Yes, if you guys want to, let's see, am I sharing? I'm not.
No, you're not sharing. Yeah.
Let me just, I'll do that. To Andrew's point, if you go on to OGS, now that you have an account, let me go to the home page. You know, this group will continue to exist, and you guys can challenge each other to games in the future if you want. There is the Cincinnati Go Club. There's a whole lot of people in there. Only a few of us are. There's probably about a dozen of us who regularly we play twice a week. Sundays we usually have 8 to 10 people, and Wednesdays we usually have 4 people. But you can play anybody in the world online. So
tell them to do correspondence, probably, right?
yeah, and if you want, yeah, that's true. The easiest way, that's a lot to explain. If somebody is interested in continuing to play online, reach out to one of us. You can go on here. Where am I? Does it show me? Okay, I'm back to OGS. I am Bajinaji. Why is that? You have, it's telling me I have a live game. I know I have a live game because I didn't resign. Get out of my way. Okay, here, resign.
You have won.
There we go. I am Bajinaji. Andrew, this is you, right? Andus 361. Aiden is up here. And Wong, it was somewhere here's, I think that's you, isn't it? Yeah.
Yep.
So those are the Cincinnati players. If you want to continue playing online, just reach out to one of us. You can click on the name and message. I will say I am on OGS probably the least because I like to play live games. I don't tend to play online as much anymore. But Andrew is on here all the time, and he will be happy to get you guys started on a correspondence game or playing with each other. And like I said, look up a local Go club. Fred, you were going to say something if you're still here.
Oh, no, I was just to make a comment. This has been great fun. I like the chaos version of Go. You got games going and discussions and you're playing, and I don't know quite what I'm doing. It's great. A lot of fun. Thank you.
There are a couple of proverbs, and one of them is lose your first 200 games. Just get that out of the way.
Awesome.
Some of you are well on your way already.
You know, Steve, if I know they have the 9x9 game, okay, if I have known that since I was kids, I probably would be much better would be a good player. Because the 19x19 is really chaos.
It's overwhelming. It's
Yeah, it's
overwhelming.
overwhelming. I can understand. I can enjoy night by night or gradually increase, and I probably will become a good player or
Yeah.
or a reasonable good player and in a few years. Okay. But just jumped into 19 by 19, it's really
It's too much.
it's
Not
too
9
much.
by 9, you get into a fight right away, as you learned today.
Yeah.
The next standard size is 13 by 13. And in the 13 by 13, there's a little bit of positioning and strategy that happens first, and then you get into a fight.
Yeah.
And the big board, the 19 by 19, you're sort of playing strategy for a while and kind of gaining position around the edges. And then, eventually you start to get into a conflict. But yeah,
Yeah, 19 by 19 is it's just I realize it probably not possible for the beginner because
no, I don't recommend it.
Yeah, because you need to have a high level strategy and at the same time you need a skill to fight, So it's just not possible to do both at the same time, So
Yeah, I agree. It's good to start small, like we tried to do today. Always start with capture go because when you're brand new to it, you don't even quite realize when something's almost surrounded. But if you play a few games of capture go, you start to get a sense for, that just I can see why that happened. And then when you realize when your stones are vulnerable, then you can start to play the open game where you kind of combine that knowledge with trying to, actually surround territory on the board. So, well,
Okay.
Thank you,
again,
Steve.
Yeah, thank you,
I
Steve.
hope you all had a good
See you
time. Thank you to
tomorrow.
our other Cincinnati players too. Thanks,
Yeah,
guys, for coming on here and
Yeah.
helping out. I appreciate it.
Let's do it again.
Yeah, thank you everyone. And today we got different group, and then next week we'll go back. If go back to Confucius. That's next week. Okay, so I almost forget. Okay, so next week I'll talk
From the
about
ridiculous to the sublime.
Yeah, for my Cincinnati Go players, if you're interested in Asian philosophy, this has been a really fun group. They've got philosophy and they've got a couple guys that do history. That's been really interesting. So it's been a fun group. I've been attending some of their events here for a few months now.
Yeah, Persian Trinity last night was pretty awesome.
I'm a member now. Or
You're
something.
a member.
So, okay.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, guys. Have a good evening.
All right, thank you, Steve. Okay, thank you very
Bye-bye.
much. Bye.